Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Britballin. And today we've got the breakdown, week 3 in the books, everyone. Today I'm joined by Sean. No Mike today; he's out celebrating his birthday tomorrow. So, Sean, welcome to the show again.
Good evening again. It's nice to see someone getting out and enjoying himself. I'm sure you'll have a great 40th.
40th and the rest for our Manchester B. That's not here today. So today, basically, we're going to be talking about some of the results that happened in obviously week 3. We're going to be ranking our top 20 again. There's a few little movers and shakers that we're going to be talking about, but there's been some drama in Britball this week.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's always a bit of drama. This week there was a bit of fisticuffs, we'll say. Well, not say fisticuffs. There was more handbags on the comment section between Titans and the Spartans. Let's say, yeah. Robbie knows. Robbie's straight in there. Yeah, there has. Yeah, Rob. You know what it is? Robbie actually messaged me. I think it was yesterday, and he was like, "Can't wait for the show. You're going to be talking about this on you." And I was like, "I haven't seen shit. Like, what's going on?" And it's quite hard. I'm not going to lie. It's quite hard for me to find what has actually gone on because I mean, most of it's happened, and then it's been shown on Gridiron Hub, and I'm banned from there, so I haven't been able to see much of it, unfortunately. I mean,
there's a bit on there. I'm not quite yet banned, but I'm sure I'm on the list.
I mean, I don't get it. Oh, here we go. We've got some Titans now. Sam Fossey putting the popcorn at the ready. As far as I'm aware, so judging from what I've heard and the little bits that I've seen, Titans offered Halton 3 dates to replay their game. Halton was basically give it the old fuck nah. We're not doing that. And Titans players give them shit for it. Now, what do you make of it? Do you think Halton should play that game, or do you think? What do you think?
I mean, I've spoken to a couple of the Wolverines guys, obviously the guys that were there when I was still there, from what happened when the first game of the season and that, and Titans played it as classy as they could. We've talked about it on the show before, and you and Mike have been on it. Like, everyone pays the same subs, everyone pays to play and that sort of stuff. But there was definitely a lot of Titans players that would normally play a whole game that didn't see a lot of game time against the Wolverines. So when it then came to Halton, I mean, I've seen it. I mean, if Titans put it out on their social media that, look, we're ready for a game. We'll play a scrimmage. We'll play this. We'll play that. We'll give you our playbook. We'll tell you who we're playing. You know, they were just ready to play football of any sort of standard. So,
which after let's be honest, after the almost 2 year of no football, you can't blame them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I certainly can't, anyways. And the one thing I would say is just leave it out the comment section. Leave it out the comment section. Like, this is what drags Britball down. Like, you make yourself look like a bunch of dickheads. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's nothing to be gained, is there, from either side? But on the flip side of it, it's been 2 years and people are itching for football, and they're like, oh, well, we're going to get something, and then all of a sudden there's none. So I understand it, but I think taking that extra second there would have been maybe a little better on both sides.
100%, I would have done exactly the same thing.
I know.
I would have been like, listen, dickheads, play the game now. No, but like, it's one of those where I understand Halton's point of view. I do. Like, I get it. I completely get it. And I understand why Titans are pissed off. Like, I can't blame them for that. Like,
it goes back. I think we've covered it, haven't we, in terms of, elite level sport and that sort of. There is a gap between where Halton are and where Titans are. Why couldn't there have been more of a separation? And it's going over all ground, but a Prem team going against Halton, it just wouldn't have worked.
Holland are a Division 1 team now, remember? Holland got promoted a few years ago, whenever the last time it was. The one, in fact, I think they got beat off in the Clyde Goliaths, if I remember rightly. That was in Northumberland. They played that game there. And it was a good game. It was good football and show, but how long that's passed, I don't know if they've got the same players. But of course, it's one of those where
I think the easiest way to describe it is a big suck of the teeth, isn't it? It's like, it's awkward all around.
Robbie's got this for me. The notice is the shit part. Like, let's be honest, yeah. Like, I get that, but I know some Halton players, right? And I know for a fact that they were more than happy to go to that game, even if they got their horses handed to them. So, for me, those guys need to be speaking to the club and be like, listen, like, we wanted to play that game. Why didn't we?
Well, it goes back to the subs thing, doesn't it? I imagine, Halton are free this year, aren't they?
Halton's free. Halton does whatever they want. They're free, man. But
is this not the downside of that?
I think it is. I think it really is. Like, it's, you know what it is. I'm not blaming them, right? Like, to be fair, we talked about this last week, and obviously shit hits the fan in the comment section this week about things. But it's, man, like, just play football. Like, I don't even care. Like, if you give them notice, right, they can arrange another game. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not being funny, right?
And put your team out. You know what I mean?
No, like, the smartest thing, right? If realistically, right, Gateshead, the same week that this was meant to be on, played Northumberland, right? And Northumberland beat her, right? We're both part of Gateshead. They beat her comfortably, realistically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? With enough notice, I'm sure the league would have been fine with Titans playing Northumberland in us playing Halton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think things like that can, especially this season, should be allowed. Do you know what I mean? Like,
flexibility is going to be key.
Yeah. I just think, like, things like that would have been better for everyone, if I'm honest. Like, I know the Vikings would looking to take that game if they weren't playing us. Simple as that. Like, they would have, like, they understand that it would have been a harder game. And
I mean, on the wanting to play thing, I've not played properly now for 2.5, 3. Add the extra year, so 2.5, 3 years. But a couple of injuries picked up, and I went flying onto the field. I was absolutely gassed. I'm terrible these days, but I still, I was like, woo, football. And I guarantee that's what all the Halton guys were all thinking.
Oh, I'm kitting up Sunday, son.
There it is.
I'm kitting up Sunday.
I recognise that number.
I know. I'm kitting up Sunday. Like, I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. Like,
well, I'm gonna have to.
I'm looking forward to playing again. Like, it's been, you know what it is. I think if this was an actual league season, no chance I'd be stepping on the field again.
No.
Because basically it's just a piss around season, anyways. I'll go and have a crack.
Well, that's it. It gives us a chance. It gives coaches and that the chance to go and have another run around and get in there. But it then tying it back to the Halton thing, they've got the players, they've got the numbers. Get people in there.
Do they? Like, would they really put subs for free? Like, I'm talking 2 years ago they had numbers, but do they now? Yeah. Like, we've had this comment come in. The line is the shitter part, to be honest. In advance, we don't want to play Titans, so then Titans can play Merseyside 3 times and someone else 3 times, etc. Not say player numbers as an excuse. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, it would have been better if they had just went, listen, I don't want to play them. Or if they had just said, like, we are not prepared, or our players are not physically matched up to play that, and we don't think it's right or good for the game if we just get battered.
But on that though, why? This is the year to communicate. Like, I've been around Gateshead a long time now, and there's always that historic animosity that was way before my time at Gateshead, and I've been here 7 years now between the Gateshead and Vikings. Whereas this was the classiest I've ever seen the two teams. This year's a very special year, and I think that's something to do with it. What was stopping the Halton coaches having that conversation that you said and going, look, guys, we're not ready for you guys.
What the hell is going on in the background where you are, by the way?
Oh, it's the dog in the conservatory. Give us a second. I'll go and have a word with the dog.
Go and kick that fucking dog. Jesus. So, Robbie, you've just put it's the one more year for me. Well, it's not. It's not. It's the doesn't fucking matter if I play or not, does it really? Let's be honest. Like, I teach in a primary school. I probably shouldn't be swearing this much, but I changed my name on all socials and I find. But realistically, like, I'm not going to get the kit up again in a season where it's actually going to matter. Like, one, I'm not fit enough. Two, I shouldn't be good enough. And three, I've got too much on with coaching. But like for this year, I might as well just go have a little go again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love the sport, and like it doesn't really make a difference if I fuck up. Let's be honest. Like it's. Do you know what I mean? Like,
look at the jersey number I've picked for this year. We didn't order a 19 this year, so what did I go and pick? Number 1. I don't deserve to wear number 1 on the field. Nobody should wear number 1 on the field, and I definitely shouldn't be wearing it. But it's that thing of, and I thought let's go and have some fun.
There's 2 numbers that you should never wear: number 1 and number 9. In my opinion, you should never wear number 1 just because you look like a twat because you think you're the best player on the field, and number 9 because you think you're a centre forward playing for England. Like, so for me, like, speaking of England, by the way, we didn't bring it home. As far as I'm concerned, we didn't bring the trophy home. But as far as you know, what it is, I was going to say as far as how it brought the country together, it brought it home, but. After seeing all the dickheads at Wembley and all over the country throwing shit all over the place and that, you make us look like a bunch of knobheads. So if you're watching, you're a fucking dick. If you're one of them that sort of throwing bottles and shouting and giving abuse to people online and stuff, you're a dick. Absolute dick.
Yeah.
So anyways, back to American football. So this week's results, we've had some good results in this week. I'm going to let a group of them scroll across the bottom. Essex Spartans 62, Sussex Thunderbolts 2, Colchester Gladiators 0, Cambridge Cats 21, Mustangs 0, Rams 57. So that's like a first little group that, that is a big score. Like, I'm impressed with that. Like, very impressed with that. If I'm honest,
Rams got thingied off last week, didn't they, for the Lightning, weren't it? Was it there that got cancelled by the Storm? So. They've had half a game and then they run up another 60 points. They're starting to click very quickly.
You know what it is for how well Rams played against Sheffield the other day. Like I'm impressed. Like Rams must be doing something. And I mean, is it just down to this year that players from that university aren't getting to travel to go elsewhere to play, or have they actually recruited well and are playing? Like, are these guys going to be there next season?
Well, this is it. I mean, we talk. You know, it comes up all the time when it's not focused on the northeast. The next easy target for too many teams in the thing is the Leeds sort of area, but they're kind of putting that to bed right now. You know, I think it can't all be uni students, can it?
I think obviously when you talk about teams in the area, you're on about northeast, and you're on about Leeds and London. I think you need 12 more teams just to even the fucking balance out.
Yeah.
But like, it's one of those things, like, if they can pull those 2 Leeds teams together, that's a very good Prem team. Like, very good Prem team. But we've had a comment come in anyways. If it's just a versus Prem thing, the Holton play Nighthawks in a couple of weeks. Yeah, they do. But for me, as a guy that I'd rather play Nighthawks, if I'm completely honest. Like, I'd rather play Nighthawks. And it's not just because I think Titans are a better team. I just think Titans have a hell of a lot of fucking players, and I just don't want to be blowing out my backside playing against people that are fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, I mean, the squad numbers are a massive thing, but I don't know. I mean, Nighthawks, for me, anytime I've played them, they're hard hitting. They've still got the similar sort of core coach.
Mate, 100%.
They are a tough team to go and think. So on the flip side of that,
when I say that, I'd rather play Titans. I don't want to play Nighthawks either. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to play anything. Like, let's be honest, this year for me, like I've just said before, I'm playing because it's a piss around season. Like, I'm broken. Like, I broke my back 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, legit.
Yeah,
broke
no,
my
I was
back.
the fullback.
Yeah, chipped my vertebrae and slit the disc on one side, and that was me being an idiot. Like, but I just think I just wouldn't want to play either of them. But if I had to pick one, I'd rather play Nighthawks. Like, and I'd still get battered. Don't get us wrong. Like, I'd absolutely get my Jaxie kicked up and down that pitch, but I'd just rather play Nighthawks.
Hey, Nighthawks, watching this is it. You go out and smash Titans now, and that's Adam eating another hat.
Yeah, 100%. No, to be fair, I'd still, even if they beat them, I'd still rather play Nighthawk, just because I think I can at least tire a couple of guys out, and there's not, you know what I mean? There's not going to be like another 60, 70 guys on the sideline that can come in and do something.
Big squad. Aye.
Russell's come in with it. Did teams speak to Baffa when the fixtures came out with concerns playing certain teams they were drawn with? Yes, I think they did, if I'm honest. I really think they did. But you know what it's like when you're on that Zoom call with the teams there, you're just going to be like, yeah, we'll play. Yeah, I don't care. But realistically, your backside's like a rabbit's nose, do you know what I mean? But it's one of them where I don't blame Holton. Like, I know we're going over it, right? But I really don't. Like, I really do not blame Holton. Sam Fossey's come in. The Rams have potential to move up to Prem after a legit season. Like, you know what I mean? For me, I think this is a bullshit year, right? Because if a team goes and blows away Prem teams or does good against Prem teams and they're still stuck in Division 1, like, bad crack. Put it this way, I'm going to tell you now, Rams are moving up in our rankings this week.
So on that, do you think that Baffa should be looking at this at the end of the year? And as much as, you know, for some of us, it's a case of this. Well, why? We've been promoted and relegated 3 times without having anything to do with our fixtures.
Yeah, but realistically, right, they can't. Because what if the likes of Sheffield, who could be resting players and think, like, I don't know, like, oh, we're not going to run up scores. We'll get the win, but we'll not run up scores. Or if Manchester are saying, well, we're playing backups, but we're still getting these scores. Like, I know that feeling. No. But you could get the likes of, let's say Rams are playing full tilt all the way at the end and getting that score. And someone else might be just half-arsing it and getting a bit of a less score. But the Rams score looks better. Like, I've been getting so much shit. Like, I get so much shit when we do our rankings of people. And they're like, but we rested players. And I was like, I don't care. Like, just, like, I'm putting the rankings down. Like, it's how hard it is for us to do it this year. Like, shit, it's the first time we're doing it. We've only started Britballin lockdown, and, like, this is what's happening. But next year, like, that's not going to happen. People are going to batter teams because they want to batter teams and move up the league table.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
That's fair.
But it's one of them. Do you know that that one of the Rams players give up his game day to take one of the Mustangs players to hospital because it was going to be 3 hours before an ambulance would get there? I didn't know that, but that is unbelievable. That is absolutely unbelievable. If that's happened, let me know who it is. Someone tag them in the comments or something. I'm going to send them something from Britballin because that's
the next one. Whichever way around it is, let us know.
Yeah, like, whichever way around it is, get them to tag them in here, and I'll send them something because that is class. That is an absolute show of class.
Aye.
So I'm over the moon with that. Well done. Mustang player drove a Ram player.
Yeah,
like unreal.
So not only did Rams absolutely, wipe the floor with them because they're obviously in a better place, losing by however many, the guy's gone and got the guy who's been running him over all day and took him to hospital. That's absolutely class.
Do you know what's funny, right? This is what blows my mind about this sport, right? We are a minority sport over here, right? And there's so much shit talking, right? But when it comes to something like this, everyone gets around it.
Aye.
Like, can you imagine if everyone just tried to help each other for just because? Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just develop and get the game good so we can all play the better stuff. Can you imagine that?
I mean, people have been imagining it since 1985, mate. But yeah, stuff like
Jonathan,
that is why we play.
I'll take a look on the Rams page later and I'll sort something out. But for me, that's just class, isn't it? That's just showing class.
That's what we want to focus. Those sort of things, like you said, that's what we want to focus is the point of the game, especially this season, even more so this season. But we need to carry it over. We need to make sure what the positives from this year. Yeah, there's plenty of negatives. There's teams pulling out of games. There's teams that saying they've got COVID and they may not. Teams that are being hit by COVID because it is happening. But these are the sort of things that we need to forget.
But you should know, mate. You work at a frigging test center. You know COVID's happening. Like, do you know what I mean? But like, it's one of them where, for now, just work together as teams. Like, use this season just to make everyone better. Like, I'm sick and tired of hearing, oh, the German league. Oh, they have great football in Finland. Oh, they have great football. Like, great. That's fantastic.
Go move to Finland. Don't see the sun for 3 months a year.
Like, I just can't stand it. Like, I'm sick of like hearing, oh, it's fantastic playing in fucking, I don't know, wherever. Fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sick of it. Like, I want to hear, oh, it's great to play in the UK. Like, I want to get the standard of football here better. It's the reason that we made this friggin' show. Like, it's not even a show. We call it a podcast. It's Britballin podcast. It's not even a real word. We made it up, I think. Like, I don't even know what the hell it means. Like, it was a video.
That is half your vocabulary, though, is made up words, to be fair.
Of course it is, but like, it's one of them things. Like, we just thought this would work. And by work, I mean, like, it'll help make the sport a bit better. Like, Mike this week made like an O-line group. Do you know what I mean? Like, they made like an O-line group. And like, there's people from all over the country, and they're putting ideas for drills in. That's the first time in ages I've seen that's outside of like the US.
Yeah.
Like,
this is it. Everyone goes on about, oh, well, look at these leagues, that sort of stuff. We get a handful of players that have played in the league go over and make a success of going over. Like Johnny went over and he did well over there for a couple of years. You know, he was a great player. He still is a great player. But, you know, I've played alongside him. He's a fantastic player. He's back over it. And this is what we need. We need people to be able to be in that position where we develop them and learn these things from coaches everywhere. Go over and have that experience. That's what we want to be, so that they come back and make our league better.
I'll tell you what I want to do, say, right? So in those first results I put there was a result, Essex Spartans 62, Sussex Thunderbolts 2. That's Sussex B team.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Well done. Got a B team. Class. Yeah. Absolutely class. I mean, just because if there's any of you watching now, right, that won't be the biggest defeat he's ever faced, right? And I'm telling you now, it'll not be. Like, my first game, I think it was like 70, 80 or to nil or something daft. I got beat. It happens. It's football. Sometimes you're on the end of some unbelievable defeat. Sometimes you're on the end of absolute cracking wins. Right? It happens. It's football.
Props to their score to being 2 as well. I'm really happy that it was a safety.
That's like legit. That they were winning 2-0. They were winning 2-0. Do you know what I mean? Class. Absolutely class.
Where was the Thunder and Lightning then? It's in the name. It's in the name. Summon it, guys. Summon it. You'd have won 2-0. Perfect.
I'm just gonna say now, right? That's even better, right? For what I'm gonna say. You were winning 2-0. How did you feel when you went that 2-0? Do you know what I mean? I would have been buzzing, mate. Like, I'm not even joking. I would have been bouncing from sideline to sideline. I would have been over the moon.
Yeah.
Like, fair play to you. Like, you've lost. Get over it. Like, it doesn't matter. Right? Keep working hard. Keep getting better. I guarantee you'll love this sport. Like, whether you're new to it or you've played it for years, like, especially the new guys, you'll love it. Like,
I was going to say,
even
I like the sound of B team.
You know what it is? I think I can make someone's B team. Someone's. Yeah. Like, I reckon they've got a few more years left in us if there's a couple of B teams kicking around. Like, but like,
I mean, for an organisation to be in a position to have a B team, I mean, Titans is a really obvious one because how they're still the only team in Manchester, fantastic, brilliant for them. But Sussex popping up with a B team, Blitz having a B team, it's great for the sport. It's more players, but if your organisation's at that level, then absolutely fair play to you. Fantastic.
having teams where you've got like your elite players and you've got somewhere for your young guys to develop and come through, fantastic, absolutely unreal. Well done to them. And I love that I shouted out. I shouted out Chester last week for their social media stuff. Sussex is another one that have cracking like game edits and things like that. Unbelievable. Love that stuff. Send us it. But like,
I was going to say that Sussex have got highlights on before the game's still in progress.
Mate, honestly, they're unreal. I love that sort of stuff. Colchester Gladiators 0, Cambridge Cats 21. I predicted that the other way. I thought Gladiators would have a turnaround season.
Again, though, it comes. You know what we're basing this on the people that we know that were there. I mean, have you still are you in touch with any guys that are there, or are we going looking back?
Yeah, looking back, yeah, if I was honest. I'll tell you what, though, I did get stitched up in that Sussex game.
Yeah.
Because it was on our weekly picks with it was on our predictions, and they just put Sussex in it. And I thought it was obviously the Thunder.
The Thunder.
And I predicted Thunder to win, and then that result came in, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's this?
How's that?
And
so you cocked it up for us.
I honestly, I'd messaged the group chat with Jason. Jason will tell you, I was the group chat straight away, and I was like, "You fucking robbing bastards!" I was like, "I knew." I'm telling you, but it was one of them. It was good, but never mind. Doncaster Mustangs 0, Rams 57. We already spoke about it. Like that's a hell of a result. Hell of a result. Next up, Scunthorpe Alphas beating Lincolnshire Bombers 10-3. I predicted a bigger scoreline, if I'm honest. Scunthorpe are a new team, very new team, like first year football team, but they're good, well organised team.
It's another one of those when they popped up. There was a lot of comments of, they're not going to do well, they're going to drop out, they're just popping themselves in the middle of other teams, that sort of stuff. Way to prove them wrong.
They just took a lot of like Lincoln guys and things that now don't have to travel. Kind of like what Darlington done to Gateshead. Like there was guys that were traveling, that the in-between guys that either went to Leeds or Gateshead at the time. Yeah, and Darlington just pop them in the middle, and now they get them that way. It's like when you build a shop, and it's like part of business, like clever, switched on, like really, really smart.
Oh, brilliant idea from now. And then same with Scunthorpe.
But Scunthorpe, I seen their youth team play a few weeks ago as well, so they've already got a youth team set up. I think they won 2 games on the day, 2 out of 3. They got beat off Sheffield Giants in the youth game, and it was close. It was a lot closer than what I thought it was going to be. Big numbers at youth as well. Had some decent players at youth level, so only better things to come for Scunthorpe.
And frankly, that's what's more important.
Hereford's, the youth, definitely best form of football in the UK, 100%. Hereford Stampede 6, Birmingham Bulls 56. Bulls are flying, by the way. I don't want to say this because like you'll get Jason coming on, giving it the whole Bulls. But look, he's already met. Look, I missed the comment, by the way. He said funny as fuck at him about that group chat thing. Like
the Bulls they appeared to have a lot of controversy go on, didn't they? A few years back, and they did, they did nosedive, and did they even fold or potentially fold at one point?
They came close, I think. Robbie Scunthorpe is Ian Heron's teammate. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, that's I knew. But yeah, I mean, Bulls are flying, man. Like they've sorted things out. And there's a lot of talent in that Birmingham area when you think about with like the likes of like Sandwell and Tamworth and things like that as well. Like, I would like them play them. I would have liked to see them play them. But
I mean, that's another one of them ones that we went over at the time, isn't it? Like, how are they not in the same?
I have no idea. I've asked. I've got no idea. Alphas have a lot of experienced players. They announced loads of them a year back or so. Yeah, they have. Like, Alphas are a good team. But for me, I predicted them to win by a little bit more. For Bombers, like Bombers have got a lot of their juniors and things coming up through the ranks now. Tex's son, I call him the man, the myth. Like, he's now moved up from juniors to playing adult now, and he'll be doing fine. He'll be doing absolutely fine. Bulls have added depth at running back and wide receiver, young talent coming through. That's all I
Good.
hear. Like, get youth, get flag. Like, I'm telling you now, you know what I need to do, right? We need to do this more. We need to promote youth flag football more on this show.
Mhm.
Like, we need to do it because
I mean, you'd think you and
more
I would
teams need
do
it.
that more.
Yeah, you know what? I just don't know where to look for it. Like, there's a lot of teams that haven't got it. I mean, we've just only like, set one up and things, but
Yeah.
like, and they're not in the league. We're not getting them to do that sort of thing. We're kind of running our own team situation things and just getting games whenever. But I'll promote it on here. So let me know. Like, I need to find a list of who's got what because
Let us know, guys. Let us know who's when you're watching or who's nearby, because we're not the future of football. We're not even the present of footballers. You know what I mean? If we want football to be successful, we need to stop thinking about ourselves. We need to put the effort into these kids and be able to sit back in 10, 20 years and go, this is what we created.
Yeah, 100%. So like I said, I like the look of Scunthorpe up. Fair play to the Lincolnshire Bombers for keeping them to 10. Like, I thought it would have been more. Birmingham Bulls put on a show against Hereford Stampede. I thought that would have been closer, but Birmingham Bulls are Birmingham Bulls. Swindon Storm 42, Black Knights 0. You know what it is? I think if I had to call this game before the game, I would have thought Swindon would have put more on them. So I'm guessing they probably rotated a lot.
I mean, it's yeah. Without being there, I mean, I've not seen much about the game online. Yeah, you know what, Terrell? I absolutely agree. If we get that information in, and we get people who can cover that and let us know. Absolutely.
Mate, I'll cover it. I'll do it. Tell it. If I can, I'll get the information. We'll sort it out, and we'll do that week to week. It'll probably be a different show to this one, but we'll do it like 100%.
We'll do it. All right.
I'll
make a graphic.
Make a graphic. Yeah, everybody's don't know. Jones our graphic guys. Kent Exiles have one of the best youth flag program. 100% fire. Kent have got a good program all the way through. We're going to talk about Kent a little bit later on. I rate Kent as an organisation. Don't tell us about the BAFA website, mate. Like, I've just done the convention with BAFCA. Like, I've looked at that many different freaking websites. I've had enough. But I'll find it. I will find the results and we'll do something. I want coaches to come on and talk about it, promote their team, get more kids going down. Like, that's what we need.
Well, this is what we need to see in it. We want to know what's working for Ken, and what's working, for us and starting up, and what's working for all the other teams. How other teams can get kids involved and get them playing. Mm-hmm. You don't even need flags to begin with.
Nah, you don't. Like, to be honest, you really don't. Like, but if you do want to get flags, EP Sports have a great deal on flags at the moment. You can check out the Britballin store. You can either get team packs in our section, or you can get school packs. So we do that, and we also provide play coach footballs, which I don't have one with us now. I took it downstairs.
I was going to say, it's an empty desk, isn't it? I thought it was there.
It's normally here. All that's there now is like a mini helmet there instead. Like, damn. Some more results that came in this week. Humber Warhawks 16, Leeds Bobcats 18. I'm sure that was the other way around. We've got the wrong result there. I'm sure Humber beat Leeds. Go back and check. That's the wrong result. You've typed up the wrong result for me there. Telling you now, that is the wrong result.
Well, if they were watching, they'd be able to tell us.
Can someone drop it in the Humber result? Because I know that's the wrong result. Telling you now. Humber 16, Bobcats 8. See, there you go. Humber 16 to 8. You just put a 1 in front of it, son.
I did indeed.
So, I knew Humber won. I don't even know why I read that out.
We talked about it before we came on.
I know, so I don't understand why the hell I've typed right. That's your fault. Right? Blame him. Blame the guy that's normally in the background. Fuck it. Right. So, Humber 16 leads 8. Great result for Humber. By the way, unreal crack on Facebook. Did you see like the Simpsons thing that they put on? Where they've got the mountain. Yeah, they've stepped it up, so they've got like the mountains video on. It's like, oh, that one, no, that one, and it goes up with different teams. And then this week they shared the one with the flag. Yeah. Oh, I love it. Great crack.
I'm hoping that their social media guy is actually fantastic all the background stuff and all the social, like Photoshop and all that sort of stuff, and it's just gone, nah, fuck it, lads. You know what are funny? Memes.
Yeah,
Because he's absolutely, or he or her has absolutely smashed it. Absolutely smashed it.
Unreal that, by the way. Well impressed with it. Kent Exiles 3, London Blitz 13.
9-13.
Another close game. 9-13. I'm dyslexic as well, by the way. I'm reading like the wrong thing. So Kent Exiles 9, London Blitz 13. Another close game.
Absolutely. And as you just said, they've got the youth program coming through and everything. That's Kent are really, really building. Really building.
I think it would be unreal. I'm just reading a comment before actually pulling it up on the screen here. I think a youth session like this would be fantastic. Have a few of the under 19, under 16 youth flag coaches come on every now and again. 100%. Enrique, you're the first guy that were coming on from the Sheffield Giants. Defensive coordinator for the Sheffield Giants under 16s. You can come on. Tamworth Phoenix ages 11 to 14 flag football. Yes, love Tamworth at the minute. Team train at Roland School on Sundays, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. for parents who have kids that want to try the sport. We'll pin that comment. We'll pin it when once I come off this dashboard, we'll pin that for you. So anyways, back to the results for today. Or for yesterday. What day is it? Yeah, whatever day it is.
Yeah.
Four more days left. 4 more days left.
So yeah, they were holding Bliss to 0 for 3 quarters. So it's just war of attrition. War of attrition.
Class. Aaron, I will come back to your comment in a second once Sean stops touching my comments. Because can you stop touching the comments? Because you keep pulling. You just did 3 times. One more and I kick you out the stream. Not even joking. Right, so Aaron, I'll come back to your question in a second. So Kent Blitz held them to 3 for however long, 3 quarters, or 0 for 3 quarters, whatever it was, and then they come back and won. Like Blitz, what's happened to them, man? Like what's happened to Blitz? Or is Kent that good? Like I talked to the Kent head coach here a couple of weeks ago. Like they knew what they were expecting to come up against. They've planned for it. Obviously, it's not quite paid off. Almost paid off, but not quite.
Mate, if I'd have gone into this back when I could run around a bit better, if I was playing Blitz and I'd come away and lost by a touchdown, I'd kind of be not happy with the result, but I certainly wouldn't be disappointed with it. Like, they're on a pinnacle, aren't they? And Tamworth's up there now, and to be honest, I think Titans are up there as well. Those 4 teams. You never go into a game thinking we are going to lose this, but you certainly walk away from games going, well, it was one of them. You know what I mean? I'm
telling you now, there is definitely games where you go in thinking we are going to lose it. There's definitely games where that has happened.
Hey, don't you call them off and don't rearrange.
You know what it is? Is it the next one? Hashtag Sporting. Right, no, but the next one, London Hornets 34, Oxford Saints 0. We haven't even got them in our top 20 from last week, mate, because they hadn't played a game, to be fair, but they weren't even in there.
No, and they're putting scores up.
I'll tell you what, they're in there this week. Or they will be. They're going in there, 100%. Because did we have Oxford Saints in there? Oh, where's my power rank? I'm just trying to do this on the other screen. I'm not putting them on the screen yet. Oxford Saints we didn't have in yet, but that score against Oxford, it'll put them in there. I think.
It just goes to show you, London, Manchester, Birmingham, the Birmingham, I think, or the Birmingham area have got, they've got a decent setup. They've got the teams there now. They've got a good few teams. London can have twice as many teams as they have now, as long as the organisation is there and run those teams in the same way. And again, Hornets aren't exactly or what people would expect to be putting up scores, and they are. There's something clearly clicking in certain teams in this off-season. Or in this, not off-season, but test season, basically. They're trying new things, taking things with a different approach, and it's working.
100%. And then the last result of that we've got on here, Ouse Valley Eagles 14, Ipswich Cardinals 18. That was closer than I thought it would be. I had Ipswich winning that by a little bit more, if I'm honest, but fair play to Ouse Valley. I want to see some footage from that game. Like, I really want to see some footage from that game.
See whether it was a defensive masterclass or not masterclass, but I'd expect more from both. I'd expect more scores from both teams, even if it finished that close. I was expecting the points on both sides to be higher there.
I'll tell you what I would love to see as well. I'd love to see that Hornets Saints game back as well.
Why?
Because I remember seeing the Saints a finals day a few years ago, and that's some big guys on the O-line, and they were running the ball well, and then they were passing through the air, and it looked all right, and it was good football, but they've not even put up a score this week. Like, I just want to see what's happened to that offense. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not slating Oxford before people come and fucking give us death threats and shit again.
Nah, it's a curiosity. When you
from
see
Oxford,
what's going on,
the poshest death threat ever, won't it?
It'll come on
poison you.
Come on parchment with a wax seal on it first.
Yeah. Oh no, but it's one of them. It's not like I'd just like to see it. Like, I'd love to see it. So, have you got the footage? Send us it, please. I'd just like to sit and watch. But anyways, let's get to the fun part of this, shall we? I think I'm going to share my screen in a second. Like, by the way, Mike normally does the whole screen sharing thing, and my internet's been dodgy the last few days. So let's see
this
how well
dramatically wrong.
This could go very, very wrong very quickly here. But let's have a look. Right, we've still got the Warriors at number 1. We haven't moved anything yet, by the way, so don't worry if you're like kicking off. This is just last week. Warriors 1, Titans 2, Blitz 3, Exiles 4, Tamworth 5, Bristol 6, Sheffield 7, Sandwell, all the way down. And then we had 2 in our bonus little section.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we still keep the Warriors number 1 without having played a game?
I don't think that we can. Well, the flip side of it is Titans didn't get to play, so they can't go number 1. Blitz Exiles was too close. To put Blitz at 1, you would then be putting Exiles at 2. And I don't think we've seen enough. We don't know the standard. That's another one of the games I would want to see whether it is absolute balling out and a close call, or whether it's a drop in class or whatever.
This is what I'm going to say, right? So I'm going to pull back up Aaron's question from before, right? Of how much do you think a good social media presence affects recruitment? I think social media affects recruitment really, 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 really well. So you need really good social media to get lots of recruitment, unless you're those. Because you batter everyone, and then everyone wants to join you from other teams. It's as simple as that. Like they have hardly any social media as far as I'm aware. Like they might have a little bit.
The point of it, isn't it? Their social media strategy is no social media.
Well, they do their bit. Like they do a few bits, but not loads. And they are like they won't move that from that spot. I don't think.
No. There's no finals, is it? So it would take a dramatic turnaround of things in London.
Well, I think they might. The only time they lose their spot is when they play Exiles, and what the score will be against them. If they turn on batter Exiles and batter Blitz, they are off the scale.
Yeah.
Like for me.
Yeah, I mean, if Exiles pull off a similar result against the Warriors, then they're really, really making a statement.
Yeah. So for me, Warriors stay where they are. Titans stay where they are.
Yeah.
Blitz stay at 3.
Again, for me, it goes back to the fact that we need to be able to see it. This is what's lacking for me in our game, is being able to see more highlights. Some teams, like we said, are fantastic with it. Other teams, not so great. But this is what we need to know. That for us, it's Blitz. Yes, they've been second best, third best over the past couple of years, but they've still got that reputation. Until we see otherwise, for me, you've got to keep them there.
Do you know what I'm going to say as well? Just because I'm going to do this. I'm going to move those two around. Because I moved Titans up last week because of the fear factor result after a team pulling out against them. The same thing happened at Tamworth this year. What the hell is going on in your kitchen?
Mate, it's just a house, mate. It's built in 1900 or something.
Yeah, true. Someone's climbing your stairs or something. Right, I'm moving Tamworth up. Tamworth, they had someone pull out against them this week, didn't they? Who was it that pulled out against them?
It was on the thing, wasn't it? It would have been.
Was it Shropshire? No. Someone pulled out against them. Surge, maybe?
Surge
Pulled out against them. So I'm just going to move Tamworth up. Bit of fear factor. Putting them back at 4. Exiles down at 5. Now, Exiles, don't get pissy with us because I've moved you down to 5. Like, I think you guys, another result that's decent, you climb back up there. Simple as that.
There's not many teams that lose 2 games and stay in the top 5.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Bristol at 6. I'm keeping them there.
Yeah.
For me, I think they've got to stay there. I'll tell you what, let's do it this way. London Hornets won. All right.
Really? There
So they're here, right? So we're going to bring them on. They lost. They pulled out. They haven't played yet. No. None of them really.
No.
They're not even in.
No, yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Tigers as well.
Tigers are gone. Well, Glasgow Tigers are gone.
Yeah.
They're not.
Sure, it's all right this week. The Tigers are gone as well.
Fuck no. Can't, man.
Got new helmets.
I know they have. They're orange. They're very orange. Nearly as orange as our frigging kits. Are horrible. For me, Rams have got to come up. Romans have got to come up.
Romans are the result again. It's another one of those results. Yeah, it was a loss, but against Nighthawks, that I didn't have that down for that.
Yeah, I think Romans have played well. Like,
yeah.
Farnham. What was Farnham's result?
It's another result that the thing.
It's not Farnham anymore, is it? Like I keep calling them Farnham. Rushmore. What was Rushmore's result? Rushmore Knights. They're
Black Knights.
No, Rushmore Knights.
Rushmore Knights.
Yeah, they played last week, I think.
Aye.
I moved the O's down because they pulled out against someone, didn't they?
Aye, well, they were supposed to be them against Warriors, weren't it? But they've.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, they are, it's all scuttlebutt anyway, isn't it? But from what I've seen, they actually communicated with the Warriors. They've not.
I don't care.
Cancelled the game.
They pulled out. Rushmore beat Bournemouth last week. That was it. Rushmore beat Bournemouth. I hate when teams change their name like that, by the way. Shropshire, Edinburgh Wolves. Like, I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there. In fact, I need to keep Edinburgh at 13, I think, just to keep me happy. Like, I think that's... These are the ones I'm struggling with, yeah. These are the two I'm struggling with. Like,
how do you think they would fare against each other then? Because if you've got them down as performing well in the rankings, then how would you have them against each other?
Like, for me, I argued the toss with Mike about Leicester being there. Like, I seen their performance. We all seen it. It was online. Like, when their quarterback was missing, like, I just didn't rate them at all. But we argued the toss for them being there. Like, Sandwell as well up here, like...
It goes back to it, doesn't it? It's reputation versus what we've seen in 2 games in a season that doesn't matter.
Look, so that's where I'm struggling there now across here. East Kilbride haven't played a game yet, but it's East Kilbride. Do you know what I mean? That you've got to give them.
They're going to be ready. Who they got first? They're going to be ready.
Of course, it will be. Amanda, you're gonna kick off that I've used the wrong photo again. But Mike was supposed to be doing the software, and he's put this picture on, and I'll get it changed for next week. Okay, we'll use the new logo. Like this was a wrong logo apparently, but we'll fix it next time. I promise. Maybe if I remember. Where do we put Hornets? Where do we put Rams? Like, what would that score be?
I think Rams would have that.
Do you think? So, what about these two? Romans, Hornets?
Romans are looking well drilled. They're obviously doing something good along the way. I know their media is good, and in terms of the people that are running it, they're good at what they do. But their on-field stuff's reflecting it as well. So as an organisation, what are we doing? Are we doing just how they're performing on the field, or how the organisation's doing to represent it as well? You can fluke a victory, but they're presenting themselves every week now. They're looking to force across the board.
Would you go East Kilbride, Rams, Rushmore? Oh, wait there. He's put it, wait there. That's what I'm with there. I've got two screens, sorry, man. Pirates, then Yorkshire, then Rushmore, then Hornets, then Chester, and that's what I was just looking at.
I think that's fair.
Right, so Nottingham, Caesars. Chester, Romans.
I think Romans will beat Caesars.
Robbie, what do you think? Do you think you guys should be higher or lower? And that's like me asking you legit question here. Because I've got the Wolves underneath you here at the minute, and I feel bad for doing that. I think.
But then Wolves again.
Wolves
the teams haven't started playing yet, so it's the teams that haven't played are going to start slipping because we haven't seen anything from them. And it's not their fault, but it's just a ranking on a podcast, so it doesn't really matter.
No one cares, let's be honest. For me, right, like I feel bad having Wolves so low. Wolves will climb. I'd imagine Wolves will climb. And EKP will climb. Like so do I. Like I think
they will. You can't put them up there yet. You can't put them up there with nothing to show. Yeah, we can expect it, but we've said all along tonight and I don't expect it to be the case. But what if they have lost 70% of the core of the team, and then it doesn't work for them?
For me, I want to know about the O's. Like, where the hell should I put the O's? Because they didn't play that game. Like, for me, I want to drop them down, like, more than what I have. You know what it is as well, right? I'm having that. I'm doing that. If you're talking, Sean, you've muted your mic, by the way.
No, I muted it because my house is creaking.
No way. I'm putting Wolves above Falcon. But I'm keeping Vikings above Wolves just for now.
Yeah, you know what? As painful it was to be on the end of the defeat, they were really well drilled. They were ready to play. For me, there was nothing spectacular. They were just very well drilled.
For me, right. So there's two ways that people look at these things, right? And it's where do you think they'll play and where do you think they are? But I'm judging what they're at now. That's what we've got to remember, okay? So I'm judging as of right now. And I feel uncomfortable leaving teams that pulled out of games. Like, yeah. Do you know, I really feel uncomfortable doing that.
But if it was a genuine, we've got no reason to think that it wasn't a genuine safety concern with it being COVID. But then again, as I've just said, the Scottish teams, if we've not seen them, then we can't rank them.
Oh, mate, I'll completely agree with what Robbie said. Right, their D line is legit, and I'll completely say Falcons D line is legit, but like they haven't really scored on defense, to my knowledge, anyways. And their offense last week could have been out there for 6 days, and I don't think they would have scored. Like, if I'm honest.
So why keep them at 13?
Because I'm keeping them at 13 because if they get those Americans back that they had, like, that's a game changer. They'll go from there and shoot up. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean? Like, they ran Tamworth closer, we've got it for with their Americans.
Yeah.
But without the Americans, that's where they are. And I legit think all of them, without the Americans, beat them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad not putting Rams up higher at the minute, but keep going what they're doing and they'll climb. Rushmore played a hell of a game. They should have went higher last week. Hornets have moved up. If they hadn't have lost, what division are Hornets in? They're in Division 1, aren't they?
So it did one. Yeah.
And who did they play? Who did they play? Hornets, where are you? Hornets against Oxford City. I'm sorry, like, it's gone that way. That's what's sticking at. I think we go like that.
Yeah, there's no other honourable mentions under there, is there? So
I think that's how it has to be. I moved Tamworth up.
It's still early on in it. Like,
so that stayed there because of how it was. So basically, the only thing that's changed there is Tamworth had moved up above Exiles because Blitz have beat them twice. Let's be honest, 2 losses there, and they're still in the top 5 because of who they've played, and it's been narrow defeats. I think they should be happy with that. Sheffield should be closer to Rams, like that. Do you know what I mean?
There's a lot, but this is it. Is the issue?
It was only a half of football. I'm keeping it at that. I think I'm keeping it at that. Let me know now if you're watching, if you think I should do anything different.
I mean, I think we could argue it. You know, there's a lot of interchangeable teams there between, say, 7 and 20. To be honest, you know, I think this next coming week will be a big time.
I think realistically, between 6 and 20, I think people have very different things to what we've got. Even with bonus ones, like you could have Nottingham move up. Like that's really, really hard, if I'm honest. And I think if there was Mike here, I think we'd get a lot closer. We'd kick off a lot more about this. Ram Sheffield's getting rescheduled, so they'll get 2 full games. I love that. I absolutely love that. I love that. And by the way, I love that Rams, you've actually fixed the colour of the horns on your helmets. Like, well done. Like, love that. Fair play to this. Like, I love that.
That's another one on the branding sort of stuff. You know, the change
they're shit hot. They're shit
hot and that sort of stuff. Absolutely fantastic.
They're shit hot on that. But I can't see us changing this much more than what we have done this week.
That's like say we could argue. You know, we can move those teams. That bottom, I say bottom from 20, like you said up to 6. I reckon up to about 9, 10. You could move them around and have the argument for any of them.
I mean, I think you could probably even have the argument of moving 6 up to 5. Do you know what I mean? Like these two you could argue for. You could argue for these 2. You could argue for them. Like, I think really right now, them.
Oh, you and Mike could be here for another half an hour.
100%. But I'm not staying another half an hour. Not a chance. Like, I'm leaving in a second, so I'm gonna open it up to everyone now. Put your comments in. Tell us if you think I've made any stupid mistakes. I'm scrolling through it now. If you can say anything, I'm gonna give it another minute or so, and if that's not it, I am locking it in. I'm really unhappy with these three. I kind of want them up. These
Now you
as
say
well.
about the Rams, like why? Yeah, why are they not further up? But like I said, you could then argue for each and every
What
single one
was
of them.
Shropshire's last result? Oh, they played Leicester, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't move them up there. I don't understand what Dan Haywood is saying. Something about a taco, a dog,
That's
and a
it.
ghost or something. Like, I'm so confused. I don't know emojis. Like, I'm 30. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, I wish Mike was here. He knows how to talk to, like, in emojis and shit. I haven't got a clue. Anyways, that's staying how it is.
Aye.
I think. Wink face, eye emoji, fire. Like, fucking, I don't fucking know what the fuck these emojis mean.
You're just gonna have people spamming you now with emojis. Your phone's gonna blow up now.
I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. I'll put it on mute. Right, I'm sticking at that. That's what I'm doing. I'm having it. That's what rankings. I will post them up, saving it, locking it in. They'll come into it as well, by the way.
You think?
I should move them. Yeah, I should move them up.
There you go. Lock in.
Oh, download.
Download it.
It's logged in. It's done. I'm not logging in while on here. People see my email and password. So, anyway, what is squeaking away there, by the way?
What do you think?
Right. That's us all done for the day. I'm done. I've low the Giants if it's bothering you so much. We have our game this Sunday, that'll change. Enrique, I've not said I'm low on the Giants. It wasn't the Giants that was the issue. Right, we're done. I'll see you later. See you next week.
Happy days. Goodbye, everyone.
We'll get in touch with everyone about youth and junior, and we'll do a show, and we'll be laughing, and everyone will be friends, and it'll be fantastic. But until then, ta-ra.
Goodbye.